Yes, Shalom again. Right. This is I.S.U.P.K. Trinidad Tobago. Again, I.S.U.P.K. South Blood of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I'm the Commander General Yahanna. Right. I'm Police and Officer SWAT Yara. Right. Again, this is I.S.U.P.K. Trinidad Tobago. Again, it's a reminder to all our brothers and sisters here in Trinidad Tobago that, that the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General has a function in school. At this time, again, our location is Morris Street, Point 14, right? Go up on our webpage, and you can find the location of the school. Again, as a reminder, the Lord's 55th annual Passover, right, in Durham, North Carolina, which will be April 20th. This is a reminder to all Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. If you have your visa, or if you're American, North, South, or Central, and you have the opportunity whereby you could, make that trip. Again, it's a glorious thing, that Most High God, under the I.S.U.P.K, under King Yahweh, under the I.S.U.P.K, under Commander General Yahanna, is hosting, again, has been done for the last 55 years, which is, the Lord's Passover, just as our records reminded us, as the scripture said, to rehearse the righteous acts. And we'll continue to do this until the coming of our King Yahweh, right? Black man, right? And as we continue to bring these reminders, this is a reminder to all Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Again, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is going to be held, April 20th, Durham, North Carolina. Again, Passover fee is $200, 17 years and over. Again, check with the camp leader, for any, information. And again, this is, again, the spirit of brotherhood, sisterhood. The only place you find that is in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General. Right? Again, as we continue to bring this reminder out to our brothers and sisters, all that is taking place right now in the country, right in Trinidad and Tobago, and again, a lot is being taking place, like I say, on the whole front. And the Commander General Yahanna does his live podcast every Monday from 9 p.m. Right? You can check it out from 9 p.m. tonight, where you'll get all current issues, everything that is taking place right now in the youth, and the lead up again to what the world is trying to avoid, and the spirit of these horsemen is already out. This is why again, we see all these things taking place, and it is prophesied or recorded in the scriptures, in our records, and it happened, before, and it's going to happen again. Because why? When you read and you see what the Most High God has delivered us, from out of the hand of the people that oppress us, notice that everything is being, replayed at present in the sight, of the eyes of Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, and in the sight of our enemies. And this is why, again, these are reminders to us. And as we continue to bring these reminders, we continue to remind brothers and sisters in the class, because it's so important right now. And so, it's something that in explaining the explanation that would be given is something so spiritual that, outside of the truth, or outside that, as you say, are these doors, or this the place that, that the Most High God, provide, through the spirit of brotherhood, as righteous men, continue to hold down this. The Most High God always, had that place or that safe haven, where brothers and sisters, I would say, would gather. And just as in Zephaniah, I say, gather ourselves together, whole nation of Israel. We always gather, and go through these records and look at what took place, in the times of, the men that were before us. And this is why, as we see, or we hold, the, the entirety of our records in this life, in this time. Yeah, it is so, the privilege and honor to serve under righteous black men. And this is why, again, in the I.S.U.P.K and the Command GEN.YAHANNA, these reminders, was passed on, from, since any time, as you say, that spirit throughout the records and even up to the day, it passed on. This is why, we as a people and as a nation, the Most High God is making that way as any good father, that pathway. And that pathway is not, as you see, broad and wide, but straight and narrow. Because now, why? Because this is something that each and every Black, Latino, Native Indian man and woman must go through. And it's something that, we see the example of our father, as well as we say, Jacob or Israel set the example or lead by example in fighting, to retain or get that understanding, or that spirit. This is why I gave, the opportunity that Most High God, had waked us up or raised us up under righteous black men. And this is why, we be out on this platform, and with every given opportunity as this time wind up. This is as you see, this is the real work or the all real task before us. And the men that were given this task is the men that swear out of that oath and say, as we say, just as our King Charles say, these two and all the laws and the commandments. And this is, by this you will know, how much you love your brother, how much you love your sister, how much you love your family. And this is why again, the men that sit or hold these positions is not just so, because the Most High God is the one that that called us this, called us under righteous black men. Again, to continue on in this truth. And this is why we will continue to bring this reminder onto our brothers and sisters. Right now. So again, these are reminders unto us. Right? And the question that has been posed and is always a reminder to us. And this is why we continue to bring this reminder. And this is why we continue to remind our brothers as ourselves. Right? And SHALAM Yahweh and Bashir, right? Sister, right? And this is why again, it's so important that Black, Latino, and Native Indian understand, the value of life. And this is why, here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's like the rate is going at, it will look like, or the pattern that is being, set is like Babel. Like at this rate, we will kill out one another, or you unalive one another. So that before any sort of resolution come to problem, the Black, Latino, and Native American community. This is why, these reminders will be brought out. I'm going to just read a little article that it will show you that the same thing that is taking place right now, as you said in America, is the same thing that has been taking place right here in Trinidad, North, South, and Central America. And why? Because now the spirit that we take up in this society is not the spirit of the Lord, or it's not the spirit of having that brother or having that family, consciousness. Because why? We first rival is always, as our Prasad said, that trend is always to look to our brother, with that sense of, or that evil eye towards your brother, in the sense that, hey, if you, looking, let me say, or trying to prosper, or trying to do something that, with as we always say, make your life better in this society, then, the first thing you try to do now is try to rise on top of your brother. When instead of the opposite, now you're supposed to help your brother. Because now when you look at the example of what these other nations does, they would always, help one another. And we as a people and a nation would always look and say, well, look how they're doing it. But not understanding by saying that now and not bringing it into action is like, hey, we giving them, that sense of moral of giving over our ownership in, as you say, in righteousness to them by not doing wrong, by not taking that stand and say, hey, yes, it's time that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians start to come back in that same spirit. But know this, the Most High God is, as you say, is a father and a loving father too. And this is why we always have that seed or that remedy. We always have the ones that would hold down this truth and bring that reminder to the nation, to our brothers, to our sisters. And this is the I.S.U.P.K and the Command General. These, as I say, these records, it hold, our future. And know this, that the Most High God, as we say, he would only use, he doesn't want, as we say, he doesn't even need plenty, he doesn't need much. Because why? He must demonstrate his power. And this is why, again, as a man that our brothers and sisters, and this is why throughout our records, the prophets are old, men before us always cry to bring that reminder to the nation. Hey, look at what we do, look at what we patrioting or we partaking in. It's time for me to stop or come out, because now the culture that we pick up is not culture. The ways that we follow is not our ways, because now we lost that sense of a family. And because we lost that sense of family, now we always come up, and rival against one another. And everything that we see taking place right now is like, the pattern that took place before, as I say, in times before times. And this is why, today, in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General, and it's the only place where we find that spirit, or that true spirit of brotherhood and sister. Because now we are care, or we have that love, and we understand what love is. Because now we have a nation to do what? To bring that reminder. And as you say, as we come out from that low state, we bring that reminder as well to our brothers and sisters in that low state. Because why? We understand the condition. And this is why, as we say, we so tender. It's like, hey, when we deal with people, it's like, we hear it, but we understand it, because we know that the condition that we're coming up is so low. It's like, hey, if we move in a sense that when people would say harsh or hard, we could end up, tearing or destroying that spirit. And this is what the Christian church has done. This is what religion has done. And destroy the spirit of the Black man. destroy the spirit of Hispanic and the Native Indian. And because of that now as you say, it becomes 10 times more hard. But notice, the Most High God is as you say, is that water. And he created, that vessel of honor and that vessel of dishonor. We are the vessels of honor. And in order for us to obtain or retain that honor, we must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and follow, as you say, the man that the Most High God choose. No sign say men, but the man, because the Most High God, as you say, is not God of confusion. And this is why he always set that trend. That we always choose from amongst us one that the nation would follow, and we can go back and we can read up straight down through our records, and we see that the men that the Most High God chose, they always bring that reminder to the nation. And today, the oldest man with the rank and the authority is commanding general. And this is why the men that come up under him would follow that I would say that trend or that pattern. And knowing in that spirit that this is the only soul we can come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because why? Just as our king, set and draw or use the example of a child, and you see, unless you humble yourself as this little child, then you'll be able to learn. This is the time that we need. The time that we're in right now, as you saw, the season that we're in is that fishing season. And this is why we tell brothers and sisters, hey, come to class, come to school. That with religion take and as you say, demonize it to the point where we would unalive one another. We have no compassion for one another. But our first thought is always, now, me like we are not, as the scripture say, going to a brother home and try to reason or try to resolve that situation, but following the example of society and the pattern of society. And the first thought is always, now me taking that. And following, as you say, what religion teaching, not understanding what does it mean, as in the times that when Moses make mention that concerning an eye for eye, a tooth for tooth, you don't understand that. Because why? Your pastor, your imam, as we say, your Buddhists, all these, they don't understand these records. And this is why, again, we as a people must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And as I will read that piece of the article and will show you that this comes straight out of all the records. And this is why, again, as a people and as a nation, all records hold, as you say, life and death. And as a father, a good father would always choose their children, and Most High God, made that choice and say, because I know you, I will choose life here. And our life is through these records. Our living forever is through these records. And when we say live forever, then the Christian church would be so selfish and be so, as you say, thinking about their own self and thinking that will live forever. Did not even give the own children, the grandchildren, and the opportunity to prosper. Because why? Because of what they've been taught or what they've been, brought up or read in this society. Right? So that, let's read a little piece of the article, right? And this is coming out from Daily Express, right? It says, right? Since 7 murders have occurred between Friday night and yesterday among, right? Friday night and yesterday, right? 7 murders, right? Among them, DJ announcer with radio station 96.7 Red FM, who was shot and killed in Laventille yesterday following an alleged falling out with a party war. Right? And throughout the day, as you say, even listening to the news, his mother even came on the radio station as well. She didn't make any, as we say, any mother would make the best or the best remarks of their son. She would always, and she make mention that the son love music, and this is something that he had a passion for at the age of 40. And the other commenters, even a brother or some who made mention before, that this war was always like a turf war. So he now was on a turf that he wasn't supposed to be. So all it will be brought across is like, hey, I live in here, and I live in Laventille, and you live in, let me say, Belmont. You're not supposed to be in Laventille because Belmont and Laventille. Let's use the example because I write here in Trinidad. Because I was speaking about our brothers and sisters, right? And for some reason that this is something that as a people or a nation that without the spirit or without the truth, you will overcome that just so, because now with politics and with religion, they will only, as we say, pacify it, because they themselves will pacify. And when I say pacify, they will give them something to, as we say, the hush mouth. And they accepted that. And this is why I mean, in our record, say, give, destroy the heart. And by accepting that, they destroy the mind. So what happened now? Now you become a what? An enemy to your brother, an enemy to your sister. And then now where you come with that spirit of deception. And that spirit of deception now is where we to use now to make everybody or everyone feel like, hey, everything is okay. Everything is cookies and cream. Everything is, as we say, is, as we say, smooth. Not knowing that what you did or what as a leader, either a politician or your religious leaders, what you did now, you just sold out your brother. You just sold out your sister. And it's a sad thing to see that as we look at what's taking place right now, our brothers and sisters keep on ending up in the crossfire, in the line of fire. And because they end up in the line of fire, the Most High God, always bring a reminder to us. And this is why, when we see these things happening now, it should shed some light or some sense of, as we say, sense of humor into our mind, into our understanding. And knowing this, hey, what really taking place is like the Lord showing me that, hey, that I will say, hey, the only time I can know it is when I reach by a door. And this is why, we don't want it, as we say, to reach by a door. And when I say we, in the I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA, have brothers who came up from these backgrounds and understand, hey, why is it to really love your brother? Why is to love your sister? Instead of bringing harm to them. Instead of bringing, as we say, to destroying the community. And because of that, this is why now when you look at the spirit behind these men in the I.S.U.P.K in the school, you will see that same sentiment or that same value towards their brothers. towards our sisters is being shared. Because why? Because look as we say, walk on our page, look at the food drive, the clothing drive that is continually being done week after week because of that care and that love for brothers and sisters. Because we know that the time that we're in, that the nation would be, as we say, would fluctuate, or as we say, would come together. And the Most High God will bring us, as we say, squeeze us to the point where we know, hey, you understand, hey, use Judah, use Benjamin, use Levi, use Isupk, use Asher, use Gad, use Naphtali, use Reuben, use Simeon, use Levi. He bring us together because why? These is brothers. These is brothers. And our understanding of not knowing that, as you say, the person next to you, as you say, or black people, not knowing, who they are or their identity. This is the end result. Right? And then we don't have a look at corruption. Right? So it says, right? Police said that around 8:15 a.m., Elijah swapped Sugars, right, Baba 27 of La Puerta Avenue, Diego Martin, right, was in a Honda City intended to head out of Laventille via Eastern Quarry Road after leaving the party venue at Palm Trees, right? At the time, he was in the back seat of the car, which was driven by a 20-year-old friend from Barataria, right? While in the front seat, passenger seat, was 37-year-old, was a 37-year-old woman, a relative of Baba's. Police said that just as the car was about to drive off, a man armed with a gun ran alongside the vehicle and opened fire on Baba as he sat in the back seat. The driver also struck while the woman was unarmed. The driver, however, able to drive and sped to the Porter's Plain General Hospital, right? Police said that Baba died while receiving treatment, while the 20-year-old was treated and remained in the hospital up to last night, right? Officers from the region 2 homicide and crime scene unit later visited the scene, which they examined for evidence, right? In a social media post yesterday afternoon, right, stated that the manager and staff of Red 97 sadly confirmed the passing of Elijah Baba, aka Sugars. Elijah lost his life after playing at an event in Porter's Plain. So now it's like, they shed some light on it in this. It's like now you being a DJ, because now DJs is who, as we say, and here in Trinidad, depends on, especially the light that as we say, that gets over. And that vibe is a different vibe, because now it's like, hey, black people, Hispanic people, and Indian people, as we say, or black people are not old. It's like, hey, that vibe, when you get to it's like, hey, this is the time that that we gather. But now if we understand that spirit behind, then now that gathering will really mean something. Because now who will target that vibe? It's like, hey, anybody outside, as we say, of the black community, they're not impacted. And this is why I did the Lord's 55th annual Passover in the I.S.U.P.K under command of GEN.YAHANNA, April 20th. Again, only blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And this is why I did. This is our time. And when we go to events where we have the fluctuation, as we say, where they will have that mixture of these other nations, This is the example. This is where we find taking place. Brothers and sisters rivalry against one another, coming up, in the sense that hey, we want the end result at the end of the day, like end up in an analysis taking place. And this is why again, these are reminders unto us. These are reminders unto the nation. Right? Having decided, right, having decided to leave the event because he felt it was best to do so, he was later attacked by an armed man who shot him while he was exiting the vehicle. Elijah died at approximately 8:50 a.m. today, right? Yesterday, it said, right? All of us at Red Line extend most profound condolences to the family relatives of the MCs, Sugars. It said, right, Red Line, number one Caribbean media group, which is the parent company of the Express. Other paid tributes to Baba via social media yesterday, last night. He told me you're good. Boy, just last night he said, I'm good. Said one woman. Another said, fly high king. Right? So all these are just comments, through the social media, right? Right? So now we just are, so it said the 2024 motor total stood at 94 up to last night. So now we just say what we say the third month at the say this physical new year, and that are 94 motors, right? And it goes in this down Ziggy, Azama, Sandy Granny Friday night, Dwayne Pay, Tina Saturday morning, Jafari Fraser Tobago Saturday morning, right? Terrence Time Charles, Vicky Valley Saturday night, Elijah Sugars, Baba Labanton Sunday morning. So I would say 7 within that period of time. 7 murders within that period of time. This is why again, as a people and as a nation, without these laws, statutes, and commandments, without the truth, this is the condition that we face on a daily basis. This is why again that the Most High God always will always bring that reminder to us. Will always as any good father would set the example and set that standard, because our father has a reputation, and his reputation is through his records, through our history. And this is why again, in order for us to uphold or to hold that reputation, we must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We must come back again to these records, right? And again the question is asked again. If brothers and sisters, question asked, the Skype asks a question. Again, our location is in Morris Street, Point 14, right? Check us out. Check out us out at the school location. We have as you say, active school at this time, a building where as you say, that place of that safe haven where brothers and sisters can come and learn the truth and learn about themselves and get a full understanding and full breakdown of their identity and who they are and who we belong to as a people and as a nation. This is why again it's so important right now to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So every time we come this platform, this platform is a reminder. And Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, these records belong to us. And why? Because our King, our child, Jesus Christ, set the example and was a reminder. So when your pastor or the imam or the religious leader read out of these records, they would not, go into details and say, hey, this belongs to you. Not everybody. This belongs to Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? So we read from we go to Matthew 15 and verse, right? Verse 22. So now we're going to give the example. And this is why I say when we mix up or we end up, amongst these other nations, our reminder is a reminder by a brother, a Black, Latino, Native, or Black people, and they will a Black, righteous Black man to bring that reminder to you. And this is what, was done by our King Yahushua Jesus Christ, right? So we read from verse 23. Verse 22, just to get other context, right? So, like 21. So, then Yahushua Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. Again, with the history of Tyre and Sidon, this were, I would say, these were ports, which, where you can go back and look at slave ports, and these way, our forefathers were sold out. And again, a lot of history behind it. And again, there's, like we say, we have breakdown on these, right? So now what is given here is, as we say, it's like, hey, the understanding that Black people, what care is, what love is, and the example of King show where that care and that love is, right? Not for the other nation, but the other nations now, with knowing who we are, will always try to come up under us and look for that sense of compassion. But know this, we were supposed, as I say, our people, our nation, the nation of children of Israel, was supposed to be running this society. But know this, because of our rebelliousness and stubbornness, we gave up that opportunity. And not only we gave up, because we move away from these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the Most High God, as any good father, would be no punish us. And the punishment that he used was these other nations. And because of seeing the cruelty and, as you say, the oppression that these other nations continue to apply, as a good father with compassion, he always had a way back. And he always had that reminder and seed that chosen, a remnant to bring that reminder. And this is why, when our King Yahushua came, that would say, when he came, he understands something, that we lack something. We lack brotherhood. We lack sisterhood. And this is why we say to understand brotherhood and to understand sisterhood and to understand these records, you must come together. Without you coming together, you will never understand this. Right? I'm going to read on. And I said, and behold, the woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Right? So now again, when you go back, it has next point that is, and it shows you that this woman was what? And we say one of our oppressors. One of our oppressors. And again, asking this question, this is the reply, right? But the answer are not a word. Because why? Now understanding, that their intention, or as we say, or what they will call who they will support, who they are, and knowing they back them by nation. This was, as we say, the reply. Go ahead and slap it, right? And his disciples came and besought him, saying, right? So these are the men that were ruling with Christ, saying, sought him, say, send her away, for she cried after us. Why? Because now she was seeking again assistance, right? But he answered and said, right, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this was his reply to what, this woman, or see this Eden, or see this oppressor. This was the reply. And this is the reply that we will always give to the I.S.U.P.K in general. This is why now, as we read on, we will see, right? But he answered and said, I'm not, right? Then she worshipped him, saying, then came she worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it will not be to take the children's bread and cast it to the door. So now again she came and saying, this, I can't take this, we, belong to the children and give it to the Satan. Because now it have value. And that value that it have, it will do what? It will assist or, I would say, bring aid to the children. Right? You see, verse 27. And she said, truth. So now the statement that he made, it was true. So now it's like, hey, I have no more place. Right? Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. So now we show you that reply. Because now we can understand, master, servant. And because of this statement, this is the reply from our king. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto you even as thou wilt. And the daughter was made whole from that hour. Right? Because why? Now that statement that she made is like, hey, this is why again we always, go on and bring that reminder. See Psalms 83. Psalms 83 is always, that you see that pivot or that platform to understand that these other nations always have, as you say, a plan, and always had a advice of always had a demise to do what? Always had a mindset to do what? To keep us from knowing who we are. Keep us from knowing who we are. This is why again, with all these records, with all the truths, without knowing the identity, the condition of us, being unalive, it stands at a high. But you know, being in that place of that same haven, under the protection, under the watchful eyes of the Most High. The Most High, I say, okay, because he reminded us about that. If we walk with him, he will walk with you. Let's use it. I'll paraphrase it. Because why? This is who we are as a people. We have a Father, an active life Father. In 2024, today, looking over a nation or people and giving them, as you say, the opportunity to turn back before, as you say, bring our enemies to their knees. Because why? Prophecy, or say these reports this is why again, knowing the truth or understanding that we as a people and as a nation, that we must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and set before us, that, as we say, that glorious thing in the sight of the Lord. Because why? Our people and our nation, as we say, far too long, have been under that scrutiny, or under the foot or the hands of our oppressors, right? right? And to understand, the value of life, because now, as you see, this Eden, as we see, this oppressor understood the value of the life of our daughter, and understood the value of, acknowledging righteousness. And this is why we as a people, as a nation, must understand that value. And this is why, again, that question, does black people, and when I say black people, I talk about the black, Latino, and little brothers and sisters in our arena, natives and them, who been people being pushed, and our brothers and sisters from the tribe of Asha will continually to come in, and not just Asha, there's a lot of our Latino brothers and sisters to be, from time to time, coming to the islands. And this is why, again, is a reminder to us, is a reminder to the people, a reminder to the nation, that to understand that value, to value it, you must understand truth. And you must understand that these records of the Bible, which is our record of history, which belongs to black people, is the way that would bring us back as a people, as a nation. These laws, statutes, and commandments, this will always be our guide in our time, as we say, in that need, where we be, as we say, we be searching and seeking, and in order to find that source of rest, and find that source, as we say, sustenance or supplement, is these records, because now it will do what? It will help us. Because now, as we say, this will be our stability, as we say, in these last days. This will keep us. Nothing else. No religion, no, as we say, no, as we say, no false image is going to keep us. No, as we say, no people say that, you're walking wherever. I want to see using the way, like they say, I'd say obia, but not knowing all these things that they say, but just that sense side. Your mind being being trampled on, and as yes, the spirit being trampled on, what would the thing? Then you be removed and start to do what? Take up custom and say, but yeah, we're saying is true. But no, just as I say that, what we say is the truth. Because now we're coming out of our records, coming out of our history, coming out from records that was laid down before us from our forefathers. And we see the example taking place from time to time. Knowing that that these people is a people who's supposed to be running this society. These people, I'm not saying these people, the children of the nation of Israel, supposed to be running this society. Not the, as you say, not the Jewish man in Israel at this time. Not the one that claiming to be a Jew, or say he's a Jew, as in Revelation 2:19, say he's Jew, say he's a Jew, but he's not. This is not who he is being, but he's what? The chief house as he is. This is who he is. This is who our oppressor is. Right? So again, as we continue to bring that reminder, we continue to remind brothers and sisters that again, that to know the truth and to know history, that we must come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We must come back to these records. Because why? With all these records of all the truth, what would happen to us? See, as we see, unalive the things, just as that was being mentioned, right? This is why now again, to understand the value, to understand the value life, again, we must understand the purpose behind it. this is our next example again of these heathens that them in the land, and again of king, understanding and knowing, that that blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, have value, and on that, and this, as you say, this is who we've been sent to, right? So you see, look at John 4:21. Yahushua said unto a woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither worship in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem. Worship the Father, right? And say verse 22. Say, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Because why? We understand the value. And let's say, hey, this is who salvation is for, right? And verse 23, but hour cometh, and now is when, right? So we say everything, but the hour cometh, and now is, right? When the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such worshippers. This is the man in the I.S.U.P.K. Because why? This time, this is the requirement. And this is why we out, again, on these streets, feeding clothing our brothers and sisters with all these food drives, as we say, as what taking place in, as we say, in Israel and Hamas, in Ukraine and Russia. I.S.U.P.K. GEN.YAHANNA, as we say, included black, Latinos, and Native Indians. What taking place, as we say, in the Christian church, when they, again, words is being used swallowed up, when it means when your pastor swallowing up, we clothed people, feeding people, and making sure that, again, that brothers and sisters, will have that sense of understand that there is still, love in this society. There's still black love in this society. And when we say black love, it still have a brother telling you, still have a sister, because the sister will be cooking. Look at the example. Look at the example of these food drives that we see in Philly, New York, again Baltimore. Look at the examples, and you'll see that again, brothers and sisters, that we see continue to do that, to walk and be the brother or be that sister, just as they have been brought up in that spirit. And this is why I'm going to read over, right? The book of John, chapter 4, and verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is. Remember this, right? When the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such worship. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Because why? This is not religion. This is an act. This is something that as you say, when Paul make mention, he say, show me your faith, and I go show you my faith with works. Work is important. Work is important. Right? Okay, this is a reminder to us. As we continue to bring these reminders, we remind brothers and sisters again, the Lord's 55th annual Passover, Durham, North Carolina, April 20th. Again, the Passover fee is $200, 17 years and over, right? Again, pay a Passover fee. Again, if you think, get with the computer, right? Contact your computer, right? Again, this is a reminder. Again, as a reminder to us, our location is in Morris Street, Point Fortin. The you can find us out here at I.S.U.P.K Trinidad Tobago. Again, contact, the number again on the web page, and reach out to our brothers and sisters again. This is I.S.U.P.K Trinidad Tobago under command of General, right? It's an also right? Again, right? With that, so that's the security announcement, right? Security announcement, we are the I.S.U.P.K out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world after 6 months. If your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to your brother or sister. There's another 6 months which your brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 months, right, period, brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry time, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21. Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 and 10. Right, means 10 in Hebrew and it's pronounced Ma'asha, 10% of every penny. Every any increase give to the Treasury Department for teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatever amount you like to give or common holy convocation, right? The Lord's 55th annual Passover, again, which will be held in Durham, North Carolina, April 20th. Again, Passover fee is $200, 17 years and over, right? To remind Akim and Aquatium to check on social media such as I.S.U.P.K.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all that, which include boots, shirt, pants, headband or scarf, and that we say imadium, upon which means to turn and face the east, right? So we just say Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, Abanawa, Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabah, Tazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Arataza, Kawa, Ayah, Shemayim, Abanawa, Akam, Kaw, Yawam, Masalaknawa, Kawabatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawabatinawa, Wala'a, Tabianawa, Manasawan, Bal, Awashayanawa, Mayon, Rai, Kaya, Malakwa, Baala, Tapara, Iolamium, Human. In English, or Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. How? Kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Right? That we say, right? We're going to salute, right? Men of Israel. Major Shabbat, Major, Barak, how about Shem and Shabbat, Major, Baby sisters and mine want to salute, Men of Israel, Major Shabbat, Major, Barak, how Shemai, the Tan, Bashem, Yoshai, Major, this